Top 5 survival items you need to have in your backpack. I have always felt that knowledge is much more valuable in a survival situation than survival items or gear. However, there are a few essential survival items that can mean the difference between life and death. The most valuable survival items for any situation are those that serve multiple purposes or guarantee you one of the 4 pillars of survival: food, water, fire and shelter. These items do not have to be all that expensive, so you can probably get your top 5 put together for under $100. Here are my top 5 survival items in order of importance. I also present a number of products in the description of this video. 1. Full tang knife. A good knife is essential in a survival situation because of its versatility. You can use your knife for hunting, cooking, self-defense, building a fire, building a shelter, and even building other tools. A quality knife will comprise of dense high-carbon steel. This will help it retaining an edge while also allowing the use with a fire steel. The knife should be full tang, meaning that the blade extends to the end of the handle with one continuous piece of steel. Folding knives are great for a backup blade, but they are never as reliable as a full tang knife. 2. Fire steel or ferro rod. Fire is one of the most important focal points in any survival situation. This is again because of its many uses. Fire can help you purify water, cook food, keep away predators, kill bacteria, repel insects, and stay warm. There are dozens of tools that can help you make fire, but a good fire steel is the most reliable. Fire steels are windproof, waterproof, and require no fuel. This means that you will have fire as long as you do not lose it. 3. Filtered water bottle. Clean drinking water is essential to survive. Without it, most people would not survive more than 3 days. You can always build a fire to boil and purify water, but it is nice to have a way to stay hydrated on the fly. There are plenty of different ways to purify water quickly, but I feel that a bottle with a filter built into the lid is the most convenient. You can dip it in a creek or pond, screw on the cap, and you are good to keep moving. With a rolled steel bottle you can cook with it as well. 4. Tarp-style emergency blanket. When the temperature is dropping, and you need shelter quickly, nothing beats a thick emergency blanket. You can throw up a shelter in a few minutes and be protected from the wind and the rain. These blankets also have a shiny side which reflects 90% of your body heat back to you, with metal eyelets along the edges to make it easy to tie off with cordage. You can also just wrap up inside the blanket if you do not want to take the time or energy to build an actual shelter. These can also be used to create a makeshift pack, to signal for help, or to smoke or hang meat. 5. 550 paracord. You can always make cordage in the wild if you need to, but having some on hand is helpful. 550 paracord is strong enough to hold a grown man's weight but thin enough that knots are easily tied. If you cut it open, you can remove the inner strands, each of which is strong enough for building a shelter, for trapping, or for fishing. There are also several ways to carry it with you. I like to replace my boot laces with paracord, so I always have some handy. I also have paracord lanyards on my water bottle and pack. If I know I will be in the wilderness for several days, I like to take a spool of paracord with me, but that is probably an overkill. Survival items supported by knowledge and skill. As you can see, having these 5 items in a survival situation can make a huge difference. With these items, you have an easy way to purify water, build a fire, build a shelter, and trap, hunt, or fish for food. However, knowing how to use them is just as important as having them with you. Take the time to practice with these items, and you will be that much more prepared. Take the next steps by reviewing the suggested products and information listed in the description below. Also support us by subscribing to our channel for more information on how to prepare with foresight.